Hi, everybody. I'm Monica Ellington. As Scott said, I'm a partner with IBM Consulting, and I lead the sports and entertainment practice. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to tell you about some of the work that IBM does in sports and technology. A little bit about myself. I'm from Atlanta. I'm a native Atlantan, and we actually exist. I've been with IBM really for more years than I care to admit. I also come from, earlier in my career, I came into more the information architecture, usability engineering side of the house. In other words, more in user experience, and that's my focus or my bias. Another interesting fact, my husband, Mark, actually is a Columbia alum. He was a college athlete and was recruited for Columbia to be on their fencing team a long time ago. But if I had known at that time, if you had told me that I'd be here at Columbia speaking to a conference of all you folks about sports, there's no way I would have believed you. So it's very ironic, but you never really know what life is going to bring your way. So the sports and entertainment practice at IBM has been around for a really, really long time, more than 30 years. And we have worked with some of the most preeminent brands in sports. My portfolio currently consists of the Masters Golf Tournament, Wimbledon, US Open Tennis, ESPN Fantasy Football, the Grammy Awards, and Ferrari Formula One. My team is about 40 people. We actually flex out to more than 50 in our peak season in the summer. And we have the full gamut of skills on my team, from designers to every type of developer, native iOS and Android, web developers, middleware developers, CMS developers, AI engineers, data scientists, testers, program managers, everything. And we are responsible for the full project lifecycle and for the delivery of the full digital portfolio for our clients. Now, in addition, we provide hybrid cloud hosting for our portfolio as well. And in addition to the world-class digital experiences that we create for our clients, our mission is to also showcase IBM's strategic technologies and create first-of-a-kind fan experiences each year for every single one of our clients. Just a little bit of pressure. Now, our goal is to reach the broadest possible audience and to meet them, all the fans, on their favorite platforms, whether that's their iPhone, their iPad. We've even moved into Apple Vision Pro with IBM's first release of Apple Vision Pro app back in 2024. We're even in cars with the Mercedes-Benz Masters collaboration just a few months ago. Our digital portfolio reaches over 90 million fans each year and has over 8 billion page views. And I feel very lucky and honored to work with such a talented group of people at IBM. It's really the highlight of my job is the people that I work with and my clients, as well as the opportunity to create first-of-a-kind fan experiences for sports fans. Now, our work is lauded both in the press and media each year, as well as receiving multiple industry awards. The one that I'm most proud of is our more recent Emmy Award in Technology and Engineering for 10 years of work that we've done with AI and machine learning in the video highlight package space in sports. Now, for today, I'm going to focus mostly on the work that we've done in AI in video and AI generation of sports insights. So let's take a look first at the work that we've done in AI and video. Now, it all started back in 2016 when we first launched our AI Highlights solution. And the overall goal of AI Highlights was to reduce some of the manual labor required to create video highlight packages for sports. Now, the AI Highlight solution would effectively watch a live streaming video or a long-form sports replay and would identify the most exciting or noteworthy shots or points within that video. It would give it a quantitative measure of the excitement level of a particular shot, and then would marry that with business logic and scoring patterns which we would use to auto-generate a video highlight package. Now, since this solution first came out in 2016, I can't believe it's been almost 10 years at this point. It's been deployed at over 20 live events. We have featured it at, we've had over 10,000 highlights produced, 5 million sports scenes analyzed, with over 100 million visitors, and we've had a 1,000% increase in the quantity of video highlights produced. Now, when we're talking about AI and video, I want to first talk about the Masters. Now, Augusta National owns their broadcast rights, which means that it gives us the opportunity to create really compelling fan experiences with video. Now, my team and I are responsible for 11 digital platforms for the delivery of the Masters each year. I've already mentioned that we are even in cars, but that would include responsive web, native iPhone and Android apps, iPad, Apple Vision Pro, et cetera, and Apple TV. And my team works with Augusta National year-round to not only develop their digital portfolio and their digital fan experiences, but also to deliver business-critical applications like year-round ticketing. The digital platforms include live scoring and stats, as well as live streaming video over 6 channels. And for many people within the sports industry, it's considered the best app in sports. And it is visited by over 13 million fans each year. Let's hear more about what we do at the Masters.
We know this place. We know its past and its present. The champions and the challengers. We know the slopes of every fairway and the breaks on every green. We know the perfect spot to land a drive or miss an approach, and where the difference between victory and defeat is only a matter of inches. We know all this because where you see golf, we see data. We see every fist bump. We hear every roar. We know every score, every statistic, and the exact location of every shot by every player on every hole. With the help of Watson X, we transform that data into experiences, using generative AI models to enhance the world-class Masters app, with features like Hole Insights, which adds context to every shot, and AI narration, which gives a voice to the action in both English and Spanish. The lifecycle of these models is managed by Watson X, from data to training to governance, so we can deliver a digital experience unlike any other and get you closer to the Masters than ever before.
Now, in the video, they talked about how we capture and analyze every shot for every player at the Masters. That's over 20,000 single shot highlights that are produced each year for every tournament, and we've been doing this for the last 7 years. Now, my group, the overall vision behind this was, and this started a really long time ago actually, when I was working with some colleagues in one of our ideation sessions, and the idea was that, what if I could create my own personalized broadcast? So the way traditional broadcast works is, the producers of those broadcasts decide, in advance. They have a content plan for what they're going to cover, how they're going to cover. Now, what if I could follow all of my favorite players in the way that I chose? And that was the basis behind, or the foundation behind the thinking for my group. Now, my group is a personalized video feed. It enables users to be able to follow all of their favorite players in near real time. So within minutes after a ball is struck on the course, it is appearing within your My Group feed. Now, this solution, when it first rolled out, it allowed users also to be able to see 3D shot tracking, which is a course, a 3D course model, and we are capturing the X, Y, Z coordinates for every single ball when it lands. And this is happening in real time. So as your playlist builds, as the players are playing throughout the course, you're able to see the single shot video play out, the metadata associated with that, such as a player's name, the shot number, et cetera, the distance, and then be able to see, where it actually is on the course and even explore that space. So over 20,000 highlights that we produce each year to enable My Group. And in addition, we are using the AI highlight solution that I talked about earlier to curate featured content within My Group. So we are identifying what are the most exciting shots that are happening on the course, as well as shots from leaders on the course, so that as your favorite players, the shots for your favorite players are flowing through, you're also able to keep on top of all the action of the tournament. Now, My Group, when we first rolled it out, all of the single shot highlights only had natural sound. So you could hear the roar of the crowd, you could hear sometimes players even talking to their caddy, which is pretty exciting. But it did not contain any commentary. In 2023, we enhanced the My Group experience to contain AI-generated commentary, English captions, and commentary for all the 20,000 highlight clips that I talked about. And again, this happened within minutes of these shots occurring on the course. Now, this experience has been enhanced over the years. In addition to, we've added additional languages like Spanish, also AI generated, and we've continued to add more color to the commentary to make it sound more natural. So let's listen to a sample.
McIlroy is playing on hole number 18, a par 4, and is hitting from the greenside bunker.
Commentary sets up the shot.
The ball has come to rest 5 feet to the pin on the green. Rory McIlroy will shoot for par, 5 feet to the hole. He missed the putt and has 1 foot remaining.
Yeah, he missed that putt. That was very unfortunate because my team had been on site for over two weeks at the Masters, and we were all getting ready to wrap it all up. He missed that putt, and so we've got ready for a playoff, first time in 8 years. So that was a very, very exciting way to end this year's Masters. Now let's talk about AI-generated insights in sports, and let's look at the US Open tennis. Which I'm sure those of you who are in New York are very familiar with. Similar to the Masters, IBM has a long-term relationship with the USTA. We're responsible for building out their full digital portfolio and all of their fan experiences, native iOS and Android apps, as well as responsive web. We are also responsible for editorial workflows and CMS for their entire editorial team. We provide those services during the live event. Digital ticketing, and within the digital fan experiences, we're providing live scoring, stats, video highlights generation as well. And these fan experiences are used by over 14 million users each year over the course of the tournament.
Madison Keys, take 1.
When I hear US Open, the first thing that comes to mind is energy, home court advantage, and loud.
It is a cultural happening.
It's just a little bit more of a scene.
The US Open is our tentpole event where we reach millions of fans around the world and engage 1 million fans on site at the US Open every year.
The digital experience surrounding the US Open is critically important. Fan engagement is at the heart of our mission. IBM is a core partner to our delivery of the event.
We collaborate all year long on our digital platforms to deliver that best-in-class digital experience, but we're also both always looking at what new innovations can we bring to our platforms to deliver to fans around the world.
The same four things that build the platform for smarter business here build a platform for great digital engagement and a smarter business everywhere, and that is hybrid cloud, data, AI, and automation.
They're helping us understand our data sets, understand what's possible, the design, the iteration, the workshops that go into it, to really make sure that we're providing that best-in-class experience.
Now in the video, they talked about the massive volume of data that we capture and analyze at the US Open each year. Now to put this in perspective, for a single point in a tennis match, 156 distinct data points are created, such as serve speed, stroke type, score, of course. And over the course of the US Open, we are gathering and analyzing over 7 million data points, and we have almost 20 years of historical data. Now, we're using AI to analyze that data and create insights. Now, if you think about the sport of tennis, you know, it was very dominated by a few stars for a really long time. You know, Roger Federer, Nadal, the Williams sisters. And we were looking for ways to allow fans to, you know, make informed decisions about, you know, who is the next player I want to follow? You know, what's the next exciting match that will potentially be coming? Who's the next star? And that was one of the overall goals behind these AI-generated insights. Now, what you're looking at here is Slam Tracker, which is a second screen experience that we offer for the US Open as well as Wimbledon. It provides live scoring, live stats, as well as related content to that match. It provides pre and post match AI-generated insights, as well as live fan experiences, such as the new 3D visualization that we rolled out this year, which includes the skeletal tracing of players' movements throughout the course. So again, a second screen experience. You know, as you're watching the broadcast, you can dig in deeper to the live scoring stats and insights, as well as 3D visualization. Now, this experience was also enhanced this year with 2 Gen AI fan experiences. The first is Match Chat, and the second is Live Likelihood to Win. Let's look at Likelihood to Win. Now, Likelihood to Win is an AI-generated indicator of potential player performance. And to create this stat, we are analyzing both current, live, and historical player performance data for the 2 players that are coming up in the match, as well as hundreds of thousands of articles from industry pundits who are talking about these players. And we're using this analysis to create this projection of likelihood to win. Now, in the past, this feature was only available pre-match. Now, new for this year, in 2025, really just last month, we have updated this so it's a live projection, a live likelihood to win that's updated after every single point. Then you can see what we're doing is we're putting this live likelihood to win in an interactive timeline so that you can actually go back in time. It helps to tell the story of the match, you know, the emotional ups and downs, the momentum swings. Now let's look at Match Chat. Match Chat is a chat interface. You can ask Match Chat anything about what's happening in a match that's going on right now. Now, I think about this in terms of everybody has that friend, you know, who knows just about everything about sports. It's like right at the forefront of their minds, and you're recruiting them to be on your trivia team. Match Chat is a companion like that. You can ask it just about anything. You know, who has the most aces? What's happened in this match to help you catch up? What are the keys to this match? You can select from pre-prompted questions, or you can free-form entry those, and we will provide the answers within milliseconds. Now, this feature was first rolled out at Wimbledon, and then we enhanced it for the US Open. And we handled millions and millions of fan questions and answers during this time. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the power of AI to summarize content. So I talked about AI to analyze video and actually generate highlight packages, AI to create insights about player performance, and then the last is its ability to summarize content. And this feature, Key Points, is actually an AI analysis that generates a summary of articles written by the USTA editorial team. And the overall power of this is, it really frees up some of the valuable resources of creative teams. So, writing this content for these summary points, if we have Gen AI create it, then the writers are not having to spend time creating this summary content. They can focus on creating more articles, creating more creative content. One interesting story on this, when we rolled this out, initially we wanted all the writers and editors to at least scan this content before it was published out. And we generally do that when we have any kind of new Gen AI content that we're creating. We always make sure we have a set of eyes to QA it just to make sure. And a few days in, they said, no, just publish it out, it's good. So, again, helping them be more productive. This year's US Open, we summarized more than 700 articles this year. Now let's shift over to football. So my team has worked with ESPN Fantasy Football for almost 10 years now. The goal of this program is to create AI insights that help fantasy users to be able to build their fantasy rosters and manage it throughout the football season. The collaboration, we work with ESPN to integrate the AI components, the AI widgets that we build into their apps. And we've continued to add more and more over the years. Now, currently within the ESPN Fantasy Football apps, there are 3 different AI-generated insights: player insights, trade analyzer, and player grades. So let's take a look at that. Now, what you're seeing here are the examples of within the ESPN Fantasy Football app of player insights and player grades. And again, this just helps to identify from a player insights perspective, if I'm building my fantasy roster, what players have the most chance for success or boom or failure, bust. Then when you are actually managing your team and you have someone offers you a trade for a player, what's the value of that particular player and what's the cost of losing a player, as well as what are the different aspects of your roster that you need to fill. And then finally we have player grades, which is a AI-generated grade for a player, and then we're also generating the contributing factor. So why does this player have this grade? Explain it to me, and that's also created by AI. Another new feature that we rolled out this year is the Fantasy Insights Weekly. And this is just another tool for fantasy managers to be able to understand who are some of the most interesting players right now. Who do I need to look out for as I'm managing my fantasy roster? And we are taking the players and grouping them into data-driven categories and giving them a badge, like sure thing or a diamond in the rough, who's a media darling. And these are just ways for you to better understand who's moving and shaking right now in terms of the players and how that might potentially impact your fantasy roster. Now, I've only covered 3 of our clients in our portfolio today. We've talked about golf, we've talked about tennis, and we've talked about football and fantasy. But we are working year-round with the full gamut of clients in my portfolio to make sure that we're meeting the very demanding event schedule that we have. For example, right now, I'm preparing and working with the Recording Academy for the Grammy Awards, which is the next big event that we have coming up. We'll be rolling out and deploying a new fan experience for nominations in just a few weeks. So looking forward to that. I hope you look out for it as well. I really appreciate you all giving me the time to tell you a little bit about the work that we do in sports and IBM. So thank you.